And take a breath with me in through your nose and out. I am here for a purpose. I am so thankful to myself for getting me here, for bringing me to this moment in time, that I might experience the depth and the truth of who I am. It is my intention to be truly helpful to myself. It is my intention to be open and willing. I am ready. One more breath together. Let us begin. Okay, so today the talk is Remember, You Are Timeless. You are timeless, and it was so perfect, and I'm so thankful that Deepak Chopra, who is an amazing teacher of mine, I just so happened to find a talk that he gave that addresses this very thing, and it was very synchronistic because the talk isn't titled anything like this, so you would have no idea that it buried within it was this message on being timeless, although maybe you would. He's Deepak Chopra, so probably that's what he'd be talking about. But I'm very, very grateful. So I'm going to, this is essentially a synopsis of, and then my take on something that I heard Deepak teach. And there is a quote on the front of your bulletin, and it says, "If you change your relationship with time, you will change your life. The most important time of your life is right now." We're going to start this way. Belief is a thought that you hold to be true. Okay, so recognize this, that belief creates reality. That is meant to be very literal and not figurative. Our belief literally shapes and creates our reality. What's a belief? A belief is a thought that you hold to be true. How do we accumulate beliefs? We have an experience, and our interpretation of that experience translates into a belief, and then we take it on with us, right? So any past experience, whether it be good or bad, whether it be the first time you had chocolate ice cream, and you went, oh, now I like chocolate ice cream, so now what's true? Chocolate ice cream is good. The first time you had coffee, you didn't like it. What's true? Coffee's bad. And then you have kids, and you go, I don't care, I'm drinking it anyway, I gotta get through the day. But that is how you accumulate beliefs, right? So it's all of your beliefs are really just interpretation of an experience you had in the past that you've now filed under, ooh, that's true, and now you're taking it with you. So now let's talk about cats. So there is a study some of you might know about. That 2 Nobel laureates did a study with these groups of kittens. And they put one group of kittens in a room that was full of horizontal lines the first weeks of their lives, right? So everything in the room was horizontal lines. Everyone that came in to feed them was either a solid color or a horizontal line. No, that was the other room. Everyone that came to feed them had on horizontal stripes. So these cats, their neurons were firing and shaping and creating their neural networks, and all they were exposed to was vertical lines. Now another group of cats, same situation, except all they were exposed to was, what room did I say that was? Horizontal. Okay, this is vertical room then. So all that group of cats was exposed to just vertical lines. So everyone that came in had on either solid colors or a vertical lines. And as they grow up to be wise old cats, they get to be older cats, and what happens is they put in chairs in these rooms, and they mix these chairs up. They mix these kittens up. And the kittens who had grown up in the horizontal room jumped right up to the horizontal line. Where's the chair? I was going to bring one up. I'm the chair. But no, I'm the chair. Got it? This is the back of the chair. It's the legs of the chair. This is the seat of the chair. So the cats that grew up with the horizontal, horizontal jumps right up and they lay on the seats, right? The cats that grew up in the vertical, but those same cats, guess what they did? they walked right into the chair legs over and over and over again. Why? Because they can't see vertical lines. Because their neural networks were shaped so that they literally could not see vertical lines. So what is true for those cats? Vertical lines don't exist. That's true for those cats. So this is how we recognize that literally, especially early on in life, what happens there, the interpretations, the impressions that we get early on in life when our neural networks are forming and creating us, our beliefs are being formed. And then we then go out into the world and we make it true. The world feeds back to us what we believe in our minds. Okay, here we go. So, baby, right? Baby, pure awareness, pure bliss, pure wonderfulness, right? A baby is totally timeless. They are happy, content, unless they're wet or they're hungry, and then they tell you that right away. It's a very natural reaction. Then, between the ages of about 1 and 3, the separate self starts to be created. Okay, so social conditioning, all kinds of things factor into this. We begin to see ourselves as separate. We begin to start creating these beliefs, and these beliefs then start to create our reality. Okay, so we got that, right? So, I like this. So the analogy is spider, right? I like this. The spider weaves the web, right? This would be akin to a spider weaving a web, and then being stuck in the web and believing that it was bound by this thing outside of them, when in fact, the spider was the one who spun the web. It came from the spider, right? And that is us. That is you and I. We are the spider stuck in the web, believing that we are bound to it. Okay, but here's the great news. Before we're done, we are going to transcend time together. You didn't know that. Aren't you glad you came? All right, here we go. So, thoughts, emotions, and your body exist in time. Okay, so thoughts come. Have you ever thought about this? Where does the thought come from? I like to do this game. You guys are going to get a little glimpse into my head like you always do. I love this thing where a random thought will come into my mind of something very just, okay, there isn't another word, random, from 20 years ago. This certain day, this certain moment, and it'll come to my mind and I will think, where did that come from? Where did it even come from, right? Thoughts arise, they come, we experience them, and then they die, and then they go, right? Just like emotions too. Emotions arise, we experience them, and then they're gone. Here's the thing. So thoughts and emotions are in time, right? Because they come, they weren't there, they come, they happen, they go. So they exist in time, emotion and thoughts. Your body is the same thing. The body you're in right now is not the body you had 10 years ago, and it is not the body that you will have tomorrow, because actually your body is just an activity. It's a constant activity between your breathing and your digesting, all the things that are going on. It's constant changes, constant movement in your molecules. So it's an activity that the molecules arise in time, they happen, and they go. So your body, your thoughts, your emotions, all that is in time. Stay with me, it's going to get great. Okay, you are the awareness in which all of those experiences arise, happen, and then go. So you, the awareness, was there before the event, it was there during the event, and it's there once the event leaves. So the awareness, you are not in time. Can you feel this? We're going to do it. We're going to have an actual, experience it in just a second. All right, let's just do it. All right, so, okay, we're going to skip it for just now. Okay, so this is what I want you to do with me. So take a minute. We're just going to take a breath. We're going to do this together. Just take a breath. And I'm going to ask you a question. And this is actually great, because this experience, Grayson, that's an experience. That's happening in time. It's an experience that comes, look, he stopped already. And it goes, right? So I want you to take a breath. Allow everything to be exactly as it is. Are you aware? Are you aware? Can you feel that? If you can't feel it, try it again. Take a breath. And I want you to answer. Are you aware? You feel that? Now, shift your awareness to the you that is aware. Can you feel that? That's you. That's eternal, timeless you. You are the awareness in which things arise, happen, and then go. You are not in time. If it worked, shake your head yes, even just a little bit. So I have some gauge as to whether or not this works. Okay, good. If it didn't work, that's okay. Here's what I'm asking you to do. Your ticket out of time is this, always. You know how I've shared with you before that I get these flurries in my vision, right? I've shared with you that before. Here's what I've come to realize. They happen when I'm aware, when I go to that space. That space you just went to, that's presence. That is your gift. That space, that is what you do. That is what you show up with. When you go, am I aware? And then you go, well, what am I aware of? And you feel it. You don't answer it. You feel it. Here's the deal. You cannot change your mind into believing that you are timeless, into believing that you are a spiritual being having a human experience. You cannot change your mind with thoughts. How could you change your mind using thoughts? It's an oxymoron. But what you can change your mind by having the experience of your depth. And the more times you intentionally tap into your depth, you can't unknow that. That's experience. And what does experience do? It becomes your belief. Right? So it's not about trying to convince yourself that you are one with God, trying to convince yourself that you are loved, trying to convince yourself that you are infinite potential. It is about going to the space where all of that is true and experiencing it. Because that space where we went, are you aware? That is infinite potential. That's what that space is. That's God. That's where infinite creativity is. And so, the takeaways. Once in a while, especially when you're stressed, I did this all week long. All week long I did this. And here's what's so funny. Okay, great. Let me tell you about this. Yesterday, I'm past this. Yesterday, there's tape. I'm not allowed to go past it. Yesterday, in preparation for talking to you all, before I work on any talk, I always meditate, right? So my intention and practice is to transcend time, to touch that depth within myself because it is infinite creativity. And then I come out of it and I've got all these ideas and it's so exciting. And sometimes I'll call Nicole and I'll go, guess what, I'm so excited. And it's a great space. And so yesterday I tried 6 times to meditate. 6 times to transcend time. So I could talk about transcending time today. And it would not happen. It just wouldn't happen. Like, I meditate all the time, and it was like I broke something, and I couldn't do it. And then I realized, no, what I'm talking about is that it only takes this to transcend time. Yes, meditation. Yes, meditation. And if you don't have time to meditate once a day, do it twice a day because you absolutely need it. And so do we. We need you to do that. So, but the recognition is that is what we're doing in meditation. We're touching that depth. or going to that space. And the more often you do it, the more you practice that, the more it becomes the voice that speaks first. And if it's not the voice that speaks first, it speaks right on the other one's heels, right? So at least we're able to course correct before we've, punch somebody in the face or whatever we need to do, right? So once in a while, especially when you're stressed, stop and ask yourself, am I aware? Am I aware? It will bring you to who you really are. It'll bring you back there, back to your presence. What am I aware of? Is the second question. Don't answer it. Ask the question, what am I aware of? And then feel into it. Because the moment you describe it, you've made it a thought, you've put a word on it, you've put a label on it, it's become a thing. It's not it. Because what we're going for is the transcendence. What we're going for is the experience of our death, not a thought about our death. Does that make sense? And then, who or what is having the experience? Don't answer. Just feel it. And then shift your awareness to the who or what that is aware. It sounds really abstract, but that is why it is only through practice that you will do it. And you will transcend time. You will be outside of time, because that space, that which is not born cannot die. That space, that is the eternal space you, that is always present, and that is outside of time. We are not bound. See, that's the thing. We don't have to be bound by time. We can have an experience. We can let it arise. We can hate it. We can love it. But it's just an experience that's arising, happening, passing. We're free to enjoy it fully or hate it fully. Doesn't matter. We are the awareness in which the experience arises. And that is our ticket to freedom. That is our ticket to not getting on the roller coaster ride. That's the difference. We can have an emotion, we can have a thought, and we go, oh, here's my ticket, I'll get on the ride, and I become one with the ride, and now the emotion, the thought is carrying me. Or I can take my ticket and decide not to get on the ride. Just watch the ride. I'll just watch from here. I like it here. And then you're tapped into infinite possibility, infinite creativity, infinity. Yeah. Okay. I think that was on my, then turn your awareness there. I said that, right? And I did skip something back here. I just want to go and just make sure it wasn't like the most profound part, because then I'll get home and feel really bad that I messed up the most profound part. Okay, you are the awareness through which these experiences happening, da, 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 da. Whereas yesterday, okay, this one's just fun. Where is yesterday? Where is it? Where is this morning? Remember when Bedford showed us the video? Where is that? Gone. The awareness that was here before the video, during the video, after the video, still here. Timeless. Untouchable. There's a quote, and I don't know who said it, but that it is in this place that rain cannot wet, that snow cannot make cold. I'm totally not watching this, but it's essentially the untouchable part of you. It is the part of you that nothing can touch. Nothing in this world of experience can touch. Okay, let's pray together. I'm going to get us to the nice prayer slide. Okay, so let's do that. Let's try to transcend time. Let's not try to transcend time. Let's just do it. Let's just do it together. So close your eyes if you're inspired to. Take a breath. Are you aware? And just sit in this space. Who is aware? What am I aware of? Then just sit in this space. Are you breathing? Is your heart beating? Did you do that? I recognize and affirm that in this time I have touched the depth of who I am. I recognize and affirm that I haven't gone as deep as I can, and that there is deeper and ever deeper for me to reach. It is my intention to often, intentionally go to the deepest part of me, to become aware, to experience that part. I recognize that this part is the truth of who I am. It is the only part of me that is real. I acknowledge that this place within me is filled with love, infinite potential, and I will give myself the gift of experiencing this place often. Let's take another breath together. And as you're ready, you can open your eyes.